Hey there YouTube, Lionface here, and today we're going to drive an Audi R8 LMS race car. Now I've found a GT Planet on there a lot, and obviously race online on GT6 a bit, and I hear a lot of complaints about MR cars, how they should, could, don't, won't, whatever, handle in the game. A lot of people calling out are broken, undrivable, etc, etc. I've been driving the R8 for a couple weeks online with some mates, and yeah, it started off as a bit of a dog of a car, or is it so much a car as the driver themselves? The first laps out, I was spinning. I was finishing races last. I couldn't hardly get a lap without doing a spin at some stage. But I've slowly learnt to drive an MR car, like the Ferrari F40 and the Audi R8. And it's more about how you approach a car and how you drive it and how different they are compared to the likes of an FR car. So here I thought I'd do an experiment. Buy a stock R8, take it to Bathurst, give it a few laps, see how it is. And so here we are. As you saw, I bought an R8, brought it to free run mode, set the track grip to real, set the driving aids to 0. I just run without ABS on everything, irrespective of room settings or whatever. It's just how I drive on GT6. You saw it was stock settings. I just changed the brake bias because I run no ABS. And you see on the second corner here, it's a bit front heavy, a bit weavy under the brakes, so I step it back a notch, 4 and 2, as you saw. And here we are. Just get a first banker lap in, see how we go, and do a few more laps. From what I understand, Redox on GT Planet has a tune-up for the Audi R8 with the 205 round Bathurst. So I don't know what this will do. I just thought I'd take it out and see how we go. From when I remember, first stepping into this car virtually, and driving it, yeah. Very difficult low speed stuff. Very fast down the straight, you gather speed very quickly. High speed corners are great just due to the aero. And it can really turn. It can really tuck into a corner. Especially the high speed stuff, it loves it. So I wasn't expecting much from going from a couple of weeks with my own tune and going out with a stock car. I thought the stock car would have been horrible. My first impressions of the stock car now, the stock settings, is that it's very understeering. It's in the few laps I've done now in it, it's quite a safe tune, which is contrary to popular belief. So yeah, except for here, yeah. Ignore that. That was me going too hot into that first corner. I broke a bit too late. Tried to just force into the corner, and that's something you cannot do with this thing, or most of the MR cars. You can't just go transition from heavy braking to turning, and I think a lot of drivers use ABS in GT6 and GT5 for that matter, because it's easier, but it produces often faster lap times with less effort. So I think you miss out on a bit doing that. In most cars you just brake as late as possible, just jam on the brakes, brake as late as possible, throw the car into the corner, get it turned and get it out. And you can't do that with an MR car. It won't let you. it'll just spit you out. So yeah, I think that's an advantage I have in the fact that I run no ABS all the time, irrespective of room regulations or whatever. And the fact that if I'm driving an FR or an FF or whatever, to brake without ABS properly in Gran Turismo, you've got to brake when the car's settled in a straight line, and you ease off the brakes as you begin to turn in, and you transition from braking to turning a lot more naturally than a lot of people do if they're running with ABS in the game. I mean, certainly an ABS driver could do it, and you'd have a few advantages. You just have to learn not to treat it like an FR, not to just throw it into the corner, or try to drive it as hard as you would an FR car. And the most important step is the transition from braking to turning in, and getting the car through the corner. And you saw another spin back there. I took the chase? I can't remember. I don't know Bathurst that well. I should. I'm a New Zealander, which means I'm pretty much Australian. And I'm not a big fan of the track. It's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan. That fast right-hander, I don't usually take the fast right-hander at full speed in this car. Not that it can't do it, and with ABS it would do it no problem. It's just you come through there, and by the time you have to be braking, the car's often not settled down, so it's easy enough to throw you out. Anyway, so the big difficulty with this car is going from the braking to coming off the brakes and turning, and then and back on the accelerator. The accelerator is easy. All the weight's in the back. You pull in the accelerator, the car sits and it goes. It turns brilliantly. Mid corner exit, no problem. It's just the initial turn in and getting it from the transition from braking to turning. And once it's settled in the turn, it's good. From what I understand, MR cars need to be quite settled in the brake zone and turning in gently. They like throttle in the corner. Half throttle, a bit of throttle during the turning, just to keep the rear end settled and keep the car stable. So you'll probably see that a lot if you watch the transitions I do from braking to accelerating. You'll probably see I brake a lot and accelerate throughout the whole corner. Not necessarily I'm accelerating through the corner, but I'm on throttle through the corner. Maintaining a speed and maintaining the balance with the car. So you saw I got a first bank lap in, 2:10. I think the second lap was a bit of I stuffed up the first corner, and then I just tried the rest of the lap to see where I couldn't push. This is the end of the third lap. I'm just trying to catch myself up. 2:08. That's not bad. A bit more room. I'm obviously making mistakes. I'll just take the stock car out and give it a go. That first corner is a bit difficult. It's quite short, but it seems to be a soft entry, and then it turns, has a sharp apex at the end. So you turn in late and across the corner to clip a late apex and get a good drive up the hill. Braking as you approach the black signs on the right hand side. Tuck it into the apex. Careful on the way out. A bit of a twitch there, not bad. Without ABS, I brake at the black barrier, turn, and then brake again for this corner. That corner is very difficult because of the camber. If you're too far on the inside, it will quite easily suck your car in and pull you to the left. And on the other hand, if you're not close enough to the left, it's easy to run wide and run into the corner. Very wide through there. I was meant to brake early for that corner. Over the crest here, brake a bit down to 190, through the left-hander, nice and quick. Without ABS, I got to brake before the crest, turn, brake on the straight, turn again, brake here, turn again, brake again, when it's straight, nice and stable. Ease on the way out, careful with the curb, off camber on the exit, so it's easy to get a bit loose through there. Tuck it to the right, so you get nice turning, and pull the car straight for this. Pull the car straight for the long straight ahead. Yeah, double straight. Anyway, the car has great top speed. It's very good in a straight line. I brake a bit or I do a lift a bit here. No, I go full throttle, that's keen. Braking hard is a bit wavy under brakes, but not too bad. Careful on the curb on the left. Not too much curb on the right. It's very easy to unsettle the car. That's the other problem with this car. Well, the other problem, it's not a problem car. The other thing to watch for is the inside curbs on the corners. You can ride the outside curbs no problem, but the inside curbs, if you clip them too much or hit them too hard or it's the wrong type of curb, it'll quite easily split that car. See, later apex, I didn't really quite get to the apex, a bit wide there, not bad. But yeah, if you ride up too much on the inside of the curb, on the inside curb, you will spin the car quite quickly. So as you'll notice, I avoid, well there's not that many curbs on the track, but I avoid riding the curbs on the side. Brake at the black times on the right, hug the inside, accelerate out. It's quite a long corner, don't really enjoy it, it's not bad. Wee bit of curb on the left, but that's okay. Brake at the black barrier, basically at the hole in the wall where the wall ends for a moment. Turn across, brake again, nice and stable, that wasn't bad. Full throttle through here, lift off or brake at the tree here, about 160, 165 at the apex, not bad. Over the crest, full speed here, brake early, should have broken earlier than that. That was better than last lap, but not close enough. Over the crest here, down to 190, bit too fast, not bad. Braking in a straight line before the crest, turn, brake in a straight line. Once again, braking in the straight line. It's all about stability. No sudden movements when you're coming off the brakes, just ease it into the corner. Hug the right hand falcon wall. Bring the car across the track, accelerate down the straight. This car with a lot of character, it's great fun to drive, it just takes some time. I've done 700 k's in my original car, and yeah, you can see I'm taking the stock settings out, and it's great. You've just got to learn to drive it. Full speed through there, braking on the crest, made it a bit unstable, and making a meal of this curb. That's what it's talking about. I was too much on the inside curb. I just wanted to spin up the car. Brake at the pit lane where the pit lane entry is. Nice and easy through that last corner. Off camber through the last corners, you've got to be a bit careful accelerating out, but not bad. Not a bad track. 206, that's pretty close to Relux's 205, so fairly happy with that. That nice spin now, so I'm giving up. But you see, a bit of practice, a bit of perseverance, and the car will do it for you. It's a great car. You've just got to give it a lot of time. A lot of time. It's not a car you can just take out on the track and expect it to work for you. Alright, hope you enjoyed that, hope you learnt something, and we'll catch you next time.